You know, they say every writer has a story that only they can tell. But what if that story isn't just one story? What if it changes, dramatically, every decade of your life? Today, we're diving into how your personal journey, your age, your experiences, actually unlocks the very stories you're meant to write, right now.
So let me ask you something. Have you ever been talking to someone, maybe someone much older or way younger, and you just get this feeling, this sense that you are on completely different planets?
Right? That feeling? That's the generation gap. It's something pretty much all of us have felt. And believe it or not, it's the perfect key to unlocking a really powerful insight about being a creative, especially about being a writer.
It's that aha moment, isn't it? Maybe it hits you when you're in your late 20s, maybe not until your 40s, but you look at someone and it just sinks in. Whoa, we are seeing the world in completely different colors. And this isn't just about what year you were born, it's a fundamental split in how you see everything.
Okay, so let's jump in a time machine for a second. Rewind the clock back to when you were a teenager, or maybe in your early 20s. For a lot of us, that whole period was defined by a very specific kind of frustration.
Sound familiar? I bet it does. This one question is really at the core of being young. It's this fiery mix of passion and just pure frustration, that feeling that the older generation just doesn't get it. And yeah, sometimes that can even boil over into real resentment.
But then, well, life happens, right? Time keeps moving. And that's when we hit this massive turning point, this incredible aha moment in how we see the world, and more importantly, how we see ourselves.
And it's a journey, as you can see. That burning resentment you feel in your 20s starts to cool off in your 30s as you grow and change. And then, one day, maybe in your 40s, it hits you like a ton of bricks. Oh my gosh, I'm that older generation now. I've become them.
And this is where the huge mind shift happens. The question totally flips. It's not why can't they get us anymore? The real light bulb moment is realizing the gap was only there because our own thoughts were constantly changing. The whole time, you thought the problem was them. But the big twist? It was never about them. It was about us. We were the ones changing all along.
Okay, so what in the world does all this soul-searching have to do with writing? Well, it turns out pretty much everything. This realization is the secret to figuring out what kinds of stories you, and only you, are perfectly equipped to write at any given moment.
This image really just nails the core idea here. A person evolves through their 30s, 40s, and 50s, right? And the writer evolves right along with them. Every single decade unlocks this new treasure chest of experiences, a new depth of emotion, and, you guessed it, a whole new kind of story that you can tell with total authenticity.
So let's kind of break that down. In your 30s, you're perfectly positioned to write about ambition, about the struggle of building a life, that fire in your belly kind of passion. Then you hit your 40s and it shifts. You can tell stories of reflection, of understanding consequences, of seeing the bigger picture. And then in your 50s, you can tap into this deep well of wisdom to write about legacy and what we all leave behind.
So the big takeaway here is this. Your current perspective isn't some flaw you need to fix. It's your superpower. The person you are right now, with all your current thoughts and values, can write a story that your future self or your past self simply couldn't touch.
Okay, so where does all this leave us? Knowing all this, there's one incredibly important mandate for every single writer out there, no matter how old you are.
This quote, this is really the heart of the whole thing. Don't wait until you're older to tell that wise story. Don't wish you were younger to capture that raw energy. You have to embrace the writer you are today. Write with the full force of your current perspective, because that perspective is a limited time offer. If you don't, you risk looking back with this huge regret for all the stories you let slip through your fingers.
So I'm going to leave you with this one final question. Forget the writer you want to be in 10 years and forget the writer you were 10 years ago. Take a second. Look at your life right here, right now. What is the one story that only you, the person you are in this very moment, can tell the world?